Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Tech Frenzy. What a whirlwind of a day, isn't it? We get SoFi's greatest quarter they've ever posted. Then, in the after hours, the stock ends up crashing, and now we're down roughly 6.5%, which is actually a pretty interesting number, and we'll talk about this sell-off. But essentially, it has to do with SoFi offering shares out in the amount of about $1.5 billion worth of common stock that will be underwritten by Goldman Sachs, be picked up by some institutional investor, okay? And essentially, it's looking like more dilution to raise capital. Now, there's a lot of questions. What do they need capital for? Why did Anthony Noto say 3 hours before he ended up putting this out that they do not need additional capital? There's so many things like this. Now, I understand people say rugged. What does rugged mean? This part I don't understand. Who is rugging you? Does Noto get to pull out those shares and take it home with him? And that's what he did. So this is also going to be a little bit of a lesson of what these are even for. You know who's a larger shareholder than BD? Anthony Noto. You know who got diluted more than BD here in chat? Anthony Noto. Anthony Noto, Chris Lapointe, all of these people have shares in the business, a lot more than probably most of us. I would say all of us. Essentially, this dilution also furthers them away from their bonuses and also lowers their stock as well. Okay, so let's go into this with some understanding of why would they do this coming from a place of strength, which is exactly where they just came from, posting the best earnings they've ever seen. Okay, we know exactly the numbers that they're going into with this, and then they end up posting this, dilution. Does that prove to be that they need this capital in order to fund the business? Clearly not. They're a very profitable business. The highest margins we've ever seen the company post just got posted. The highest amount of growth, the highest amount of members, the highest amount of every single statistic that we just saw this morning is what they just ended up putting up. So, in my opinion, buying a private company, it doesn't have to be a private company. It could be a public company, but I do think that it is an acquisition. Okay, I posted this on X, and it's, in my opinion, as what taking the words directly from Anthony Noto himself, is that they have essentially gone out and said, this was from Q1 of 2025's earnings, the transcript there. We see an opportunity to re-enter crypto in the blockchain business more comprehensively. In addition to enabling members to invest in crypto coins, we will enter we'll enter other areas over the next 6 to 24 months, but potentially much sooner via acquisition, or if things are changing in if the changing regulatory landscape allows. Sorry, a little bit of dyslexia mixed in there for you guys. But essentially, I think that this is a crypto acquisition. They've said it many times. Many of the job postings that we've ended up seeing recently have been for the purpose of mergers and acquisitions. Okay. So you can see that from someone like SoFi Insider that's been posting a lot about, job postings recently, is that there has been new job postings like this. And now all of a sudden we end up seeing this new move from SoFi. So in my opinion, that's exactly what this is going to be for. So in the ballpark of $1.5 billion, we're already starting to see in the last couple hours what type of company this could be. You know, there was a post that ended up coming up from Ken and Megan that ended up saying, hey, could it be BitGo? You know, SoFi loves to purchase the companies that they end up working with. Galileo was a customer that they ended up working with, that they ended up purchasing. Technisys, they wanted to update their back-end infrastructure. They ended up buying them instead. BitGo is on their crypto partners page, and they're also set to IPO at a $1.75 billion price. So what does a $1.75 billion valuation or them set to IPO? That essentially means that all their financials are in order and they are ready to be purchased by an increased amount of scrutiny, which would be from public shareholders that do not need accreditation and everything along these lines. So if BitGo is the name, they are perfectly set up for an acquisition right now. They are Dookie Pie. You wouldn't think Dookie Pie wasn't a member before. She is now. Thank you, Dookie. I appreciate the membership. But BitGo essentially could be perfectly set up. They are asking for a certain valuation. If SoFi was to buy out the entire business, maybe they need to ask more of them, or they can prove that somehow they're also getting it in the form of shares and or cash as well. So if they are doing an acquisition in the form of shares, then potentially BitGo's further success could be partnering with a company like SoFi that would add on, an additional 12 plus million customers onto their platform. That could be interesting. Either way, there's two ways that I want to think about this. One, I'm a shareholder and was the most excited I've ever been for a SoFi earnings result today. Okay, that happened this morning. So the people who are saying that management is blindsiding people or that they don't know what they're doing is the same management that just led us to the most spectacular earnings we've ever seen. I think we really need to continue to highlight that. I think the next part is that they have a very big position. There's even been C-suite executives that have purchased as most recently as like 1650. And what, now you want to dilute them even after making cash purchases into the stock recently? No. The idea is that they want to take advantage of the movements that are going on in the market. And if they don't have the cash, people are pointing to their cash stack saying, oh, well, they have $2 billion in cash. Yeah, that's part of their ability to have, assets that loans are tied to. Like they need a heavy level of cash. So I don't think that they can just go out and spend all of that. And if that, if there is a percentage of cash that they could end up spending, maybe the acquisition that they're looking for is 2 billion, 2.5 billion, something like this, where they could use a mix of current cash and a little bit of raising as well. Either way, highly profitable business. This is coming from a place of strength, which only makes me feel like what they're going to do with it is seizing an opportunity. They want to take advantage of some sort of aspect in the market, either getting a hold of a crypto company, which they've already stated, and this is in multiple interviews, that they want to do some form of an acquisition. Okay. So I don't know. I'm very, very, hopeful. I don't know why the same management that we've been betting on for years and has done us so well in all the what were the capital movements that they did previously? Anyway, all those ended up being perfectly fine. The convertible notes were perfectly fine. And now all of a sudden we're getting blindsided by SoFi? I don't believe it. I have a feeling that SoFi or Anthony Noto is a stickler for regulation. I think it's also why he doesn't come onto this channel and speak in these sort of ways. So with him announcing before lawyers have announced that they're doing a raise, that it was very hard for him to say any sort of comments about the raise. I wish he said something along the lines of no comment or something like this, but essentially I think that he was just wanting to talk about what was already publicly available information. Who knows? Who does know these days? But if you look here, there's also a recent thing from SoFi Insider. Like we've been seeing this a couple times now throughout the weeks. This was July 23rd. Okay. Lead the tax due diligence and integration efforts for mergers, acquisitions, and divestitures. Okay. They are looking to make more moves. These are job applications that they've recently seen. He specifically has said in 2 new interviews that they are looking to potentially acquire in the crypto space to speed up their efforts. I don't see how this could be, anything other than that. What could this possibly be for? To increase lending speeds? I don't think so. If you take a look here, let's bring up SoFi's quarter, because this was the most unbelievable quarter I've ever seen. Okay. You tell me if they're having a problem, or actually let's sort of field this in 2 ways. One, is there a problem, or are they having a problem here? And 2, would you hate it if they wanted to continue this using raised capital? So this has been what they've raised in personal loan originations. Okay, so this is going out to the public and saying, hey, we have loans or we have money to give out. You need a personal loan. Here, we'll give you this capital. Okay, and then that has raised from $1 billion a quarter to $3.8 billion a quarter here. The most recent quarter before the loan platform business, 4.2. And then in orange, we have the loan platform business. Now we're doing 2.4 billion in the loan platform business on top of 4.5 billion in personal loan originations. This alone would be a record high for SoFi. On top of that, we had a record high amount of personal loan platform originations. This level of growth, guys, is insane. It completely tears away from the linear growth path that they've had here and starting to show that they are adding on faster and faster growth this quarter. If this shelf offering is for some sort of need to speed up this growth, I also don't have a problem with that either. Like, I don't know why we would have a problem with SoFi thinking that they have an opportunity to accelerate growth. I don't know. Did it feel good whenever the stock was at $25 and pulled back? I mean, yeah, that wasn't great. At the end of the day, it was $20 a couple days ago, and the market is going to correct it back to where they think it should be later on. I mean, the quarter is now sealed in. Those earnings are stuck. Those 846,000 new members are here, okay? So I don't know why I always have to be the guy that always just calms nerves. I wish I just had a moment to chill with my SoFi shares just for a day, but that's SoFi. This is a battleground stock, okay? I'm buying a great company. It's compounding, and Anthony Noto thinks that he can compound it even faster. Will the company that he goes out and acquires add more than 5% of the market value by adding it? You know, will they be able to cross-sell a new crypto product that maybe brings on institutional clients, business banking, tokenized lending, all of these different things that they ended up talking about? Can they end up, adding 5+% to the valuation of SoFi by spending 5% of the valuation? I don't know. I'm gonna take a quick little guess and say the same management that has led us through successful navigation of this company throughout years of naysayers, non-believers, people who are saying that Noto is rugging. I'm going to place my bet on Noto. He holds more shares than me. He's got more to lose by diluting himself. Okay? He's got hundreds of millions of dollars in his bonuses that he will not hit if the stock stays under 25, 35, and 45 by June of 2026. We just hit 25 today, okay? You think that he's going to go, oh, you know what? Let's make sure that we ruin the stock for the next 18 months so then I can't make any money, or next 12 months so I can't make any money. Just think. Just think in your heads. Why from a position of strength would he want to try to tear down this business? People say rugs. They don't even understand what that, offering new shares are. They think it's going into Noto's pockets. Just think with your minds. He doesn't need a bonus. Dude, Elon Musk is motivated today by his bonus in Tesla, okay? He's the richest man in the world, okay? Anthony Noto, who has potentially $100 or so million tied to his name, and he could double that, I promise you, even at his level, he wants to double his net worth. Let's be real, okay? If Elon Musk wants more money, Anthony Noto wants more money. He wants his bonus. No, he doesn't. Okay. No, you're right. You're right. It would even allow him to have more share in his business, so then he could control the outcome of shareholder meetings. So even if you don't think that it aligns to just dollars, it does align to power in the business that he is a quasi-founder for, which is hard for him. And this is not a founding business for him. So he needs, a large stake in the business in order to make change. Please buy Enovix before Thursday market close. I think Enovix has earnings, right? Is that what it is? I think I saw that. Flash, absolutely. We'll put that in the community fund. Thank you, brother, for the donation. Maybe they should dilute for more bonuses. I'm salty. Yeah, but if they do dilute and that ends up bringing up the stock price, who are we complaining? So obviously the comment that you're making makes opposite sense. But the truth is that they do have like if we listen to the call that just happened today, Anthony Noto multiple times referenced this business in decades. Okay. In decades. The long-term plans that he has with this company is not to quote unquote, even though the systems in public markets don't apply to what that comment said. I saw that comment and I see a lot of those comments on X and it just bothers me. It's why I went live a little early today. I know it's a little not like me, but in my opinion, I think that they have a way to acquire a business, to offer a solution to Technisys customers. They want to offer crypto. Here, wait, let's find the quote that we ended up seeing this quarter. They want to get into crypto for all sorts of reasons. This is really interesting. Hold on. It's in here somewhere. We've announced the first two of many crypto and blockchain innovations across our products. First is self-serve international money transfers, which will allow SoFi Money, blah, 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 blah. The second is crypto investing. We're excited to once again be able to provide our members with the ability to buy, sell, and hold a selection of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Which that was pretty interesting, by the way. In a recent survey of our members who invest in crypto, we found that 60% would prefer to work with a nationally licensed bank like SoFi over their current primary crypto exchange. That is pretty interesting. But that's not what I wanted to highlight. I know that there was a part where they were talking about crypto is a key focus for our management team that we have brought on board significant expertise, including substantial engineering talent to advance these new initiatives. The cost, speed, and security of paying, buying, and spending are worse today than they ever will be into the future. Faster, safer, and cheaper options will only get better every year. Over time, we see opportunities across our entire platform, including offering stablecoins, providing members the ability to borrow against their crypto assets, expanding payment options, and introducing new staking features, as well as blockchain and digital asset infrastructure capabilities for other companies offering or offered by our technology platform. Blockchain and crypto have the potential to be a game changer for SoFi and our members. Okay. I think that, and if we actually end up going down to Q1 really quick, we look for that same, in addition to enabling members to invest in crypto coins, we will enter other areas over the next 6 to 24 months, but potentially much sooner via acquisition or if the changing regulatory environment allows. I mean, yeah. Doesn't get much more clear than that. So they have shown that they want to... lots of hot air to me. Okay, I know you're trolling at this point, but what do you possibly think that they want the capital for? Do you think that they're just doing it to make shareholders angry? Like, what do you possibly think that they want? Why would they go out and ask for $1.5 billion from the market, or a little bit more than that, with an additional 15% on top of that, if it isn't to make some sort of capital gain so then they can lend more and they see an opportunity there? If it's not to acquire a business so then they can offer cryptocurrency at a faster rate? I think they're perhaps not as effective as I'd like for them to be. Did you not see the quarter? Did you not read any of the analyst reports that ended up coming out today? B of A said this was the best quarter and we really can't harp on anything that they've said. Devin Ryan says we had extremely high hopes for this quarter and it blew away our expectations. Okay. The reports that are coming out, even from the analysts, are saying this was ridiculous. So, and honestly, the stock, if you want to look at it this way as well, the stock isn't even dumping. Essentially, they've diluted by 6 to 7%. Okay, that's what the market is assuming. Right now, the stock is down 6.8%. That is how much they've diluted by. So the stock price is actually staying at the same level as what it was whenever the market ended up closing. Okay, so Like going into tomorrow, we're going to have the same market cap, which I understand doesn't make many people feel better if they ended up purchasing today or sometime recently. But I don't know. I have full belief in Anthony Noto's ability to try to work for himself. Like, he doesn't have to work for me. If he's working for himself, he's going to try to improve the stock price. That's what gets him his bonus. You know? What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? It might not be tomorrow that they end up showing off anything, but I'm skeptical. Okay. Why, in a place of strength, would they come out to potentially ask for 1.5 billion? Why would they be dumb now? You know, they've done this countless times. When has it ever gone bad for us? I want to know. We just posted the strongest quarter we've ever seen. What's wrong with that? Now, people allude this to companies that are failing, and they go, oh, well, those companies ask for money as well. Or these treasuries or these, other businesses that need capital. Where does SoFi fit into that? Fully profitable, growing. The rate in which they're growing is expanding. They just did 44% year-over growth at an 11.9% net income margin. Why would they need to dilute if it didn't happen to try to seize some opportunity to grow even faster? That's the thing. There's two reasons why a company raises capital. One is for there's two positions that a company will raise capital. One from a position of strength and one from a position of survival. Okay? If we were in survival mode, that would make a lot of sense. But so this is also what I saw. People said, oh, well, if it's for extra capital for lending, then I'm not happy. Why? It's extremely, that's what's brought SoFi to this point as it is. If they think that the market, if rates are about to cut and they say, hey, you know what would go great with this? A ton of capital. And by the way, they would never do a share offering in order to get that type of lending rate, right? The exact same way that you would get warehouse facilities and these sort of things is that a bank usually would go out to other banks and say, hey, I need this amount of capital at this coupon rate, and then let me go ahead and take that money and put it into another loan. Okay. So they don't need to raise capital by diluting shareholders. Okay. They would go to another a bank in order to do that. And warehouse facilities took a big dive. So they definitely have the ability to stretch that. Tangible book value grew like crazy, and they actually expanded the amount that they think that tangible book value will grow year over year, for full year guidance. So it's not that. I don't know. Are you buying on these levels? So this is exactly what I wanted to talk about as well. I think that the first time that I ended up buying into Robinhood, okay, we ended up seeing the best quarter we've ever seen, and then the stock ended up taking a dip. I think it was Q1 of 2024, maybe. I think that's what it was. Best quarter we'd ever seen to that point, and the stock ended up crashing down to like $17, I think $16 at one point the next day. If tomorrow the stock ends up opening up red further than 6%, which is the dilutive amount, I have to take advantage. This is for my portfolio, not for you guys. But I'm going to take a page out of Amit's book and double down on the companies that I know are doing things right. And what's so funny is that there was so many naysayers back whenever the company was at $6, $7, everything like this. Data-driven investing actually just posted about this. We've been dealing with this constantly with SoFi, and this thing. So this was September 18th, 2024. I've been selling with my roughly $7 average. The opportunity cost on holding SoFi these last few years is too dang high. It's just a bank. Time to move on. And like data-driven investing said, the stock has returned 200+% since posting this a year ago. So the naysayers in chat that think that Anthony Noto is rugging somehow, like as if they get some sort of bonus by diluting themselves. You can say what you want. I should have a better system of screenshotting the naysayers. So then whenever I see you later on, I'll say, what happened whenever you dumped your shares at $20 and you lost the opportunity to go to 30, 35? Because I don't know how you see a quarter like this and think anything other than, oh my gosh, Noto is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. The flywheel accelerated, the margins accelerated. We saw the fastest level of new members, and we've seen a record level of new members 3 quarters in a row. What could you possibly think is going to happen in Q3? You think they're going to slow down all of a sudden? They're going to start dropping off in one of the best macro environments that they've been a part of? Yeah, right. I don't believe you. I think that the market is, or I think that SoFi and their users are doing extremely well. They're doing extremely well by their users. And Anthony Noto is an old school, Wall Street guy. I mean, the guy used to IPO companies for a living. He understands capital markets. He understands how to seize an opportunity here. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to take advantage of. Potentially an opportunity in the crypto market that they believe will return them more than 6 to 7% of the market cap of the business over time. Doogie says, Mr. Tanner, what do you think of Hood tomorrow? You own shares, healthy pullback. I own a lot of shares. I think they're going to beat on top line for sure, hopefully bottom line, but top line for sure is what I suspect. But yeah, I was talking about Robinhood as well, so hopefully that answered your question a little bit. The timing of the news is definitely suspect, but I also think that they're just taking advantage of the pricing. If they're trying to dilute the least, you want the highest stock price, So in dollar amounts, you're taking a percentage of the business. So if they need 1.5 billion, I mean, we've been holding SoFi since it was a, $5 billion company. They need to sell a heck load of SoFi, 30% of the business, if the market cap back then was $5 billion. 30%. So today, whenever it's run so much, they can go, hey, you know what? Why don't we try to take 6% of the business instead? So I think that that's just them trying to dilute the least amount as possible while still trying to raise that similar amount that they need, which is probably 1.5 billion because of the pricing of some sort of company that they're trying to acquire. I don't know. Send a link to Couch Investor. Oh, I can send him one. I didn't. The chat's going quick. I didn't know he was here. Coach, if you want to come in, tell me your thoughts. Let me know. Pop in. I send you a link. Do you think they've already diluted? So I'm not sure. This is the interesting part, is that the wording in the filing is very weird. They talked about, here, let's find it in the announcement. So they said, SoFi today announced an underwriting public offering of 1.5 billion of shares in common stock. That sounds like it already happened. Then they say SoFi expects to grant the underwriter a 30-day option to purchase up to an additional 15%, which also alludes to maybe it's already happened. But all the shares of common stock in the offering will be sold by SoFi. SoFi intends to use the net proceeds from the offering for general corporate purposes, including working capital and other business opportunities. Another reason why I believe that this is going to be for potentially an acquisition. But maybe it's standard verbiage. I don't know. Anyway, Couch, Neil.
Hello.
What's going on?
I mean, what a quarter, no?
You selling everything? You freaking out?
It seems like everybody has forgotten about this amazing quarter, triple beat, raise of guidance. I'll read a quick quote that I think you or Chris wrote this morning. Anthony Noto said, "We want to compound 25% revenue for decades, not just for a couple of years. So we don't want to underinvest in the business." And now we have, of course, the after hours effect and news. But don't forget this quote. Like I maybe the timing could not have been worse, because he did say that they don't need, although if you really want to quote him word for word, it's not exactly what he said. He said that they're going to be opportunistic. And they're being opportunistic because the stock was at $25, okay, 22, closed out the day or something like that. So I rather, like you said, I rather them do this today than in April, right? We rather see this happen in the 20s and not in the teens.
Do you want to listen really quick to his wording here that happened just a couple hours before?
Yep.
Well, let's take a listen.
Of a few months, is there any likelihood that you'll want to raise some capital or kind of reset capital levels?
Listen, we're always looking at our balance sheet and making sure that we have our future plans well capitalized. We feel like our capital ratios are strong. They're obviously available for investors to take a look at, but they're well above our regulatory minimums. The capital market situation is one that we're always evaluating to keep our cost of capital low, but we feel like we have adequate capital on the balance sheet, but could be opportunistic from time to time if it can lower our cost of funding and help give us continued growth capital. But right now, our plans are adequately funded with our balance sheet, but we'll continue to evaluate opportunities.
We'll continue to try to value opportunities. And here's the thing too. Let's talk about their capital ratios really quick. They have had a lower capital ratio this quarter versus last because they essentially didn't sell many personal loans at all. I don't know if you saw that, but they sold like 200 million personal loans. Comparatively to the quarters that we've seen before, it was not a lot. Here, I'll bring this up. So this is inclusive of the loan platform business, but not inclusive of how many loans that they wrote themselves. So in this sort of red pinkish color here, we end up seeing a difference between $3 billion of loans end up being sold to $977 million. And actually only 200 million of that was personal loans, even though personal loans was by far the highest amount of new originations. So they're holding on to a crap ton of personal loans. In my opinion, I think they're doing that because they know that rate cuts are coming and they're going to get a better gain on sale margin in 2 months if they just wait. So that's my personal opinion. And right now it looks like they are tighter on their capital than what they have been previously. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, to me, I always like to step back and just ask myself, has Anthony Noto under-delivered on business performance over the last couple of years in a terrible macro environment that's ever-changing? No. He doesn't control the stock market. So you could say, yeah, but the stock has done nothing for God knows how long, although I think we've had 3 years' time to buy the stock under $10. I think that's enough time to buy a stock, and now we are above $20. The stock is up 200% over the last 12 months. I think that's quite a performance. Now, you might say, yeah, but in hindsight, if you bought that stock and that stock, you would have outperformed. I'm like, okay, if I had that crystal ball, if I knew which numbers came out of the lottery, I'd be a billionaire by now. But you cannot do this. What we can do is make sure that we invest in a good business with management that, yes, likes to dilute. They dilute because they need to dilute, and every time they dilute it, it's because they wanted to grow faster. It's because the business needed it. And same thing here. This is a business, yet again, that is growing. What is it? 44%, no? 44%. Yeah. I mean, yes, it has a bank. It's not a bank. And if it is a bank, it's the only bank that grows 44% year over year. Sorry, but shouldn't be a tech company or shouldn't have tech events or whatever to have the multiple. You get the multiple because you're growing super fast. You're beating Wall Street expectations, not once, not twice, but every single quarter. It's beats across the board. Guidance gets raised. We're still on track to grow super fast. We're still on track for that 67 cents EPS next year, which analysts still think it's never going to happen for some strange reason. The announcements today, right? It's okay, dilution, and this means that they could raise 1.5 billion. Maybe they already did, maybe they didn't. We will eventually find out. But there is no doubt in my mind that guidance for this year was given knowing what was about to be announced. And so, to me, nothing changes. This just tells me, okay, they did this because they want to move faster. There was this quote during this earnings call, right? They said, it's not about what we can do, it's about what we cannot do, because there's just so much going on, right? And so, okay, if this allows them to do much more, much quicker, why not? Why not?
Dude, I think you nailed it on the head. I mean, the only downside here is if they can't, the acquisition that they acquire is not going to pay for itself, you know. But the hopeful opportunity is that if they do go to acquire a business, that they're smart enough to realize that they are acquiring something that is going to be cross-sold into the 12 plus million members that they already have. So I think that you're exactly right. This is to speed up growth, seize an opportunity, take advantage of, well, one, the least amount of dilution that they could possibly do, which was whenever the stock was at its highest, and two, benefit off of the crypto changes, the regulatory changes, and make sure that they're first to market. They also made a comment about that in the earnings call, saying that stablecoins, being a regulated bank, that they actually have an advantage here, and that many companies need to wait for many regulatory bodies where they, because they're already a fully regulated bank, can already start to move. Pretty interesting. I mean, I'd want them to rush to market as well.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's as if this stock was not up to 100% and we're all complaining that it's not participating in this bull market, but it is up. Yes, it was at $25. And I'm sorry to say, but if you bought it at $25 based on the earnings report and earnings call, and now you're pissed, then you didn't buy it at $25 because of the earnings report and the earnings call. You just bought it because it was up 16%.
Yeah, you just think you were buying into momentum, right? And thinking that it was going to go higher, not caring about the underlying business, which we try to talk about all the time here.
Yeah, I mean, if I can buy a business where the CEO has been delivering time and time again, and then he comes out and say that they want to compound 25% revenue growth for decades and not just years, I'm not going to complain, because the stock is now back to prices not seen since last week. It's just very, very simple. Super, super simple.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree. Dookie here gave $2 kiss for Neil. There you go.
Thank you.
But before I let you go, I have a question. Not just about this deal, but just the quarter overall. Were there things that stuck out to you? I mean, we talked about a couple of them, but were there things that we haven't talked about already that stuck out to you being insanely impressive, maybe a little bit worrisome? What were some points that you think investors missed?
I mean, for SoFi, I have nothing to add, to be honest. It was a very, very, very good quarter. I mean, much, much better than expected. I think they beat most of our predictions.
Yeah, I mean, they smashed
beat mine by far.
Yeah. They beat every single Wall Street analyst. There wasn't a single you look across all of Wall Street, all of the retail investors, stock or Kyle the stock goat, who, you know, is probably up there on the bullish spectrum, and they blew away his targets. So how can a company come out and blow away every single analyst prediction, both retail and institutional, and then people go, oh, you know what? This all that changes the opinion of everything that just has happened. Multiple quarters of not just multiple. I mean, every single quarter I've been following this company of just continued execution, and think that anything is going to change tomorrow morning. I don't know.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? If something can change in just one night.
Yeah, it's a bad investment all of a sudden.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it can go lower. I don't know if it's still down 6% or whatever. It can go lower tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we have also some big names reporting. They can drag down the whole market. Yep. Probably Apple, because they suck. But now we'll see. We'll see. And then you'll have, of course, that debate, because I think, Robinhood is reporting tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, Apple is Thursday. Tomorrow is Meta and Microsoft. So that's even worse because you have the CapEx stock and all of that. So we'll see what happens there. But you have Robinhood. So then you'll have, oh, look at Robinhood. They did this and that. And then you have, again, the same debate as if this is like a football game. It's like Real Madrid, Barcelona. It's like, oh, you suck. No, you suck. And like, come on, guys. This is like a company and a company and a stock and a stock. It's like different. But yeah, I mean, maybe
what's funny too is right now, because they announced the raise, but we don't know the acquisition, there's no positives to look towards right now. If they go out and announce an interesting acquisition that has institutional clientele, international customers for crypto exchanges, they have all these built-in tools that can be applied directly to Galileo and sold to all the banks and fintechs that they're already announcing, the whole sentiment changes, because then people can apply some level of bullish outcome, growth, margins of that business to see what would that scale up like if you apply that over 12 million members, or you know, whatever percentage of SoFi Invest members will end up using crypto. But at this current moment, where there's so much uncertainty, but we do know that there's a downside of the dilution, it's nothing but negative sentiment right now. But remember, there's going to be a good side on the other side of this 1.5 billion. They're not doing it for no reason.
Yeah. Do you have any, or maybe you talked about this already, what they could acquire? Because in crypto, you can, I mean, most people are probably just thinking exchange, but I don't think it's just going to be an exchange. It's probably something, payment rails related, crypto backed lending, something.
There's a few crypto as a platform names that people are looking at that might integrate well with Galileo and Technisys, or well, just Galileo now, that potentially could be helping with the AWS of fintech type thing, while also offering that same sort of solution back to SoFi. I think it'll be along that line. In terms of actual names, I don't know. There's an interesting one, Figure Markets. If I show you this here, this one's pretty interesting. It's a crypto native platform, helps with institutional grade stuff as well. A lot of DeFi markets. The reason why I say it could potentially be this company is all in the where can I find it? Did that say about Figure Markets? It's all about the owners. Mike Cagney is the founder of Figure Markets. Now, if people don't recognize this name, he's actually the founder of SoFi. Mike Cagney was the co-CEO for SoFi back whenever they started in 2011. There was 3 co-founders. He was one of them. So people might suggest that Figure Markets is in talk. He has very close ties with this business, and they are dealing in a lot of cryptocurrency markets, stuff like this. Could be in a similar price range. Maybe that. Not sure. BitGo is another one that people are suggesting. They're a partner with SoFi. SoFi really likes to acquire companies that they're partnered with. Galileo, Technisys, Wyndham Capital Mortgage. Maybe it's that, but it's all speculation until we see something.
Yeah, or they might just not buy anyone.
Yes,
just
100%.
helps them in the lending side of things, and that's about it.
100%. They could just simply accelerate the growth because they see an insane amount of demand and they don't have enough supply.
Yeah, didn't they say last quarter that they rejected, what was it, $100 billion of dollars?
Yeah.
So
they get about $120 billion worth of applications. They accept 20 billion and they turn away 100.
So imagine if that 1.5 unlocks.
Yeah, but I just feel, wouldn't you do that through some other vehicle other than diluting shares? Like a true coupon rate, like get an actual loan, warehouse facilities, these types of things.
You could. Again, I let Anthony Noto run the business because he runs it better than I would. So I'm not here to question that decision. Maybe we'll get to know more over the next couple of days, and people will suddenly say, actually, yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. And to be honest, even if I don't know the answer for the next couple of days, it doesn't really matter that much, because I go back to the quarter, I go back to the earnings call, go back to the guidance, still looks amazing. probably one of the best reports we're going to see this earnings season, to be honest.
Can we talk really quickly, and then I'll let you go? But the tokenization of lending. It talked about that a couple times before, but hearing him actually break down some of the use cases was really interesting. So let me set this up really quick. SoFi offers a bunch of their own ETFs where they have robo-advisors, these sort of things that end up picking out a selection of stocks. They discuss on the weighting of that, and then people can buy into those exchange-traded funds. However, private credit is in an explosive moment in time right now. One of the problems about private credit is that you can only buy about $10,000 at a time. Like the minimums of investing in private credit is higher for the usual investor. So if you can tokenize like a securitization of loans down to as much as a single dollar, SoFi was the original company that fractionalized share trading. They pioneered that. Now they could potentially pioneer the idea of fractionalized loan purchases. That's crazy. And you know what? They're probably not just going to do it for their own loans and offer it up as a loan platform product, but probably do it for other institutions as well.
Yep. It's all about expanding, making sure that volume growth is there. How they're going to make it work remains to be seen, because I'm not sure you want to give everyone access to this. There's still some risk associated to it, just like with private investment. There is a reason why there are some guardrails in place, right? Because otherwise you'd be it's like with crypto. Like I remember 2017 or 2018, everybody was investing in ICOs, right? Because it's like the IPO but for cryptos.
Yeah.
And 99% of the people, myself included, get burned every single time because you don't know. Of course, with publicly or privately held companies, it's a bit different than a crypto, right? There's a business behind it, and you might see the financials and all of that. With loans, it's very interesting. Don't get me wrong; it's very interesting. It's probably also you're probably going to have some screening process and all of that to get access to all of it. But yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Could be another way to raise some capital to sell their loans off to. And I mean, I'm sure there would be a lot of SoFi investors here that would be excited to purchase SoFi's own personal loans that they're giving to their own members.
At good rates, probably.
Anyway, Neil, thank you so much for coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out Neil, make sure you go to his channel, Couch Investor. Let me pull up a link and throw it in chat. But
thank you very much. We should do this more often, especially at these hours, because usually you're going live at like 4 a.m. my time, which is unacceptable. But,
yeah, what time is it there now?
Now it's almost 2 a.m. But I mean, last week I was sick in bed for 4 days plus hospital, and I slept way too much. But so I'm good to go now.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as you keep these streams before 2 a.m., I think it should be feasible.
This is Couch Investor's channel. Sorry, I wrote Couch Investor, but I didn't even realize that it says it there anyway. That's the channel right there at Couch Investor on YouTube. So make sure you guys check out Neil. But yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to start to go live at 7 my time. So I guess potentially 2 or something, whatever time it is now.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you for having me. See ya.
Let's see what else is going on. Tanner, what happened? I just got out of work. Essentially, SoFi, after running up to unbelievable highs, 25.11, I think was the 52-week high today, that ended up closing out at. They decided at the end of the day that they were going to show off that they are raising another $1.5 billion, while selling it, worth of new common stock that will be issued. So a little bit interesting. Dilution for what purpose? And that's what we're trying to figure out. My assumption, and the assumption of a lot of investors that I've been talking to today, is that it is for an acquisition. If that acquisition does go through, will it be a good acquisition or bad? I think it'll be a great one, because why would they do it otherwise? I mean, they are in a position of strength right now, and these are the types of things that I think you need to see from SoFi if they are going to say things like, hey, we're getting to 50 million members, we are going to make big moves, and everyone thinks that they're this slow, aggressive, innovative bank, and you just think, oh, you know what, they're lame and blah, blah, blah. And then they go out and do this and potentially acquire a crypto business and apply that to the tech platform, post the best earnings we've ever seen. I mean, that is what we're hoping for as investors. You know? So, I don't know. We will see. I think SoFi is trying to take, or Anthony Noto is trying to take advantage of the momentum right now. And the stock price being much higher allows them to get a lot out of the company for a lot less. If this company ends up opening up lower tomorrow morning, I think I'm going to buy a lot more. Like, that is what I'm those are the types of moments where I really want to take advantage of. Whenever this news potentially overshadows the quarter that we just saw, that's going to be a perfect time for me to find some alpha there. Definitely. It's going to open at 18. Well, currently it's 20.91. So that would be quite the drop for what I think the market has already assumed is a nothing burger. You're seeing 6 to 7% dilution from this, and the stock is down 6%, meaning that they're pricing it exactly at face value. They're saying, okay, you're going to dilute us for 1.5 billion. All right, we'll take 1.5 billion off the top. Cool. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, 18 I don't think is like, who knows? I mean, we don't even know what the acquisition for, or if it even is going to be an acquisition. We don't really know what the money is going to be for. We could also see a turnaround pretty quickly if we end up seeing what it's for and the market ends up liking that response. Guys, people don't realize how much of a capital market expert Anthony Noto is. People discount him so much in capital markets because it's not a consumer-facing product, okay? The deals that they're getting, the gain on sale margins, the partnering with Blue Owl, Fortress Group, BlackRock, you only get this if you're extremely well-known in this space. Anthony Noto is, okay? And now, in this exact same thing, talking about selling off shares to make a large movement, people immediately think that he's going to make the wrong move. Why would you assume that the guy that just is constantly hitting home runs is going to mess up tomorrow? I'm seeing a lot of comments about this as well. SoFi Bitcoin Treasury, I can almost guarantee an absolute big fat zero. They've shown zero interest in that. I think that they want to be a capital markets giant, not, just trying to play a new strategy. I think they're happy with what they're doing. It's going extremely well. They just want to continue to add to that flywheel so they can accelerate it even faster. Couch Investor said, if you can somehow accelerate that flywheel, they are going to pay now for continued growth over the next decade. Those are the companies you want to invest in. People go, oh, I should have saw Amazon earlier. I should have saw all these companies earlier. It's like, you're watching a company that's actually taking a lot of the same sort of moments from those businesses and applying it to their own in a different sector. People go, how could you compare Amazon to SoFi? It's like, I absolutely can. Obviously, you don't compare a $2 trillion company to a $30 billion company, but whenever Amazon was a $30 billion company, this is what they were doing. Like, they were putting back all of their money back into the business to accelerate the amount of customers. And yeah, Amazon was a bookstore. There you go. Anyway. Guys, it's literally illegal to announce that you're buying a company before you sign. Well, and they didn't. Like, I don't know how many times people go, oh, well, maybe they don't want to show their cards. It's like, they already have. They've said it in multiple interviews. We want to buy, or we're looking at buying a company to accelerate the potential of us just going and building our own. Here, I'll pull up another one. There was another one here. I think SoFi Insider ended up posting about it. I know I showed it off at the time. I just don't know if I'll be able to find it. Here, let me see what I can do. But yeah, one of the things from their job postings. Oh, Dookie, what's going on here? Gifted 10 memberships. Gifted another 10 memberships. Dookie's at it again. Thank you, Dookie's. Dookie. Thank you. We appreciate it. I guess maybe those shares of SoFi that she ended up purchasing went okay. 40 new members. Those are $5 a piece. Just dropping $100 bills on me. I think that's how I got my sub. I think it was probably a Dookie sub. What is going on? That's $250, Dookie. Chill. Somehow SoFi's diluting and now all of a sudden I'm raising capital. Could BitGo be the target, Josh says? It absolutely could be. Another 50 gift. I'm gonna put this, guys, I promise you right now, I'm gonna put this all towards SoFi. I'm gonna do it right now. Or should I wait for should I do it for tomorrow? What do we think? Do we think that it's going to fall even lower tomorrow? Doogie, that is insane, by the way. 10, 20, 30, 40, 90, 140 gifted subs. The entire stream is turning green right now. Doogie Pie is literally my sugar mama. Now? Okay, well, I see a lot of nows, but I'm looking at it. It's only from one person. Half now, half tomorrow. Okay. Half now, half tomorrow. I think that's fair. Give the people what they want. Okay. Dookie rules. It is true. Do we straight up have mods, though? If people are spamming, you got to... just to round out a nice 150, Dookie ends up gifting another 10. Thank you, Dookie. I do appreciate it. Holy. Where's my membership? Okay, let's go ahead and acquire some SoFi shares, and then we will do some more tomorrow. SoFi, what's the price at right now? 2090? Yeah. How many you want to do? Like 50 shares or something? We'll do another 50 tomorrow. So we did 50 shares now. 50. Oh, hello. 50 shares tomorrow. Doogie, thank you. I do appreciate that. That was my plan anyway. Onward and upward. Here, wait. Let's make sure that it actually closed. Yep, it closed. Okay. Great. Okay, sorry. Took me off track. Let's frickin' go. All right, sorry. I was searching for that job posting by SoFi Insider where they talked about taking advantage of potential acquisitions, not just the one that we already showed off. Okay, so Dookie also making sure that her membership does not expire this time. Honestly, I can't thank her enough. Okay. I need to get back to the show. Thank you, Dookie. I do appreciate it. How do you thank someone more? I don't know. Anyway, so we know about this one already. Mergers and acquisitions. Dude, honestly, she's made a train of new members in this channel. And then there was another one. SoFi Invest might be getting new features. Let's see here. I don't remember where it was or what it had ended up saying. So that's the problem. I can't really search for it. But I do know, like, I don't remember what his words are. And because he puts them in images, I can't end up. Yes, this is it. Carl, I don't even know how to say that. Carlisle. Thank you, Carlisle. Appreciate the new membership. But listen to this right here. Lead complex build versus buy evaluations. Okay. This was another thing that they were potentially looking at is, hey, we want a new crypto platform. We're looking at custody and wallets, key storage solutions, all of these new products that SoFi can potentially get into. But we want to know if we should end up building this or if it's going to take too long. Potentially there's some company in the market at a reasonable price that we could just end up acquiring. Are y'all buying the dip? I just did. The Dookie Investors channel. I know. Seriously. Let's see what happens. Well, I mean, so far it's flat. Right here, we're actually up 2 or 3 cents since I ended up purchasing. So, you know, making money. Dookie with another 10 gifted, making sure that I have enough money for tomorrow to buy another 50 shares. We do appreciate it. Thank you. Call Steve. Steve's coming on at, I think, 8:30 or so. But Dookie, you're not even saying anything. What do you want from me? Thank you. Guys, make sure that if you go to the gifted membership things that you have it. I think there's some setting as well that can be unselected for some people that don't allow you to end up getting a gifted sub. So if there are people like Dookie Pie in chat, like Willy Wonka, like Carter, like some of these people that are, you know, very generous to me for some reason, that, you know, you actually are one of those members that actually receive a gifted sub. Dookie is the bomb. You're a member. Yeah, she's the Oprah of the future investing channel. Acquisition in 6 months, great. In 24 months. Yeah, well, I mean, the comments that were said about that was, so they said that they would have a product out in 6 to 24 months, depending on their strategy, and that an acquisition would accelerate that. Those comments were made 3 or 4 months ago, 3 months ago, I guess, because the actual earnings call just happened today. So that was last quarter's. So if there was an acquisition today, and then another potential 3 months to make sure that all the APIs and connections are all set up in order to do that, and that the teams are together, that timeline actually makes sense. That we could have an acquisition now, and new products available for customers in 3 months. In 24 months is not for if we have an acquisition. It's 24 months if we build. That's the thing. They said 6 to 24 months, depending on if they do a buy versus build strategy. My guess is acquisition announcement in 3 to 4 weeks. Ryan, I actually think that's extremely accurate. Sorry, I wasn't pulling up his comment for any of the other parts of China or Taiwan or whatever he was talking about. Just purely the timeline of the 6 months. Not even a message. Dookie, are you just making sure I have money tomorrow in my accounts? Thank you. I'll make sure to buy like, a lot more SoFi tomorrow. 300's crazy. I think that's like the largest individual donation I've ever received. In terms of an actual donation by a single individual in a day, I mean, it's clear this has topped it. This is unreal. So if I had a great quarter, I guess people are happy. I think she bought like something like 200,000 shares of SoFi or something a few weeks before earnings. So maybe she's up on that. I don't. How can you tell? She's a robot and she isn't putting in any messages. Thank you, Dookie. Appreciate that. She is spreading the love. Tanner, when are you buying? Well, I'm buying now. I just bought. And I'm going to be purchasing Thank you, Dookie. And I'm going to be purchasing more tomorrow, especially if it drops off. Then I would love it. This was also another floated idea. Does SoFi just buy another brokerage that they could potentially connect to? Another one was Lending Club. Do you just connect with another bank that would add to your potential growth rates, new customers? You bring on the marketing and the strong talent and or like the strong brand awareness, and they bring on the great underwriting, great capital efficiency. Dookie's gone crazy. Absolutely nuts. She's saving SoFi. Yeah. Lending Club's customer number, or like the amount of customers that they have, is I think 4.5 million. They're almost like most of them are lending customers, and they do very similar styles of investing as SoFi. They haven't been as aggressive. They've been more conservative in different areas. Google was actually an early investor in Lending Club. So the high hopes of their success were a lot higher before than they are now. They're actually extremely undervalued. So an acquisition of the quality of Lending Club at a $1.5 billion valuation I would be so for it. How much is it in total so far? Do you not know? I don't know. 10, 20, 30, 40, 90, 100, or sorry, 90, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180. 180 times 5. And then plus another 400. And like, you're crazy. Like, dude, I don't know. I do appreciate it. I'm not going to lie. Feels great, but you don't have to. I'm live regardless. It's probably around 1,300 or so. That's what I think it is. Yeah. roughly about 13, I think. 13 plus. She became a new member, gave herself another new membership somewhere in here, and then donated $2. Or another 2, another 5. I think some people have too much money to even know what to do with it. And you know what? I don't mind. But if I knew what she wanted, well, I think she wants a headband, which I mean, honestly, I have to order. Maybe I should do that tonight. I think it's pretty deserving. Buy your girlfriend a nice dinner, Tanner. Will do. Will do. Or they're just bankrupting themselves. Well, I don't think that's... I sure hope that's not. I think she made a comment the other day that's saying she bought like 200,000 shares of SoFi. Or something along those lines. She bought, maybe it was $200,000 or 200,000 shares of SoFi, something along those lines. So my assumption is that they are pretty well-off investor, entrepreneur, something along those lines. Doogie Pie's a mysterious figure, a woman of mystery. I'm down to my last $20. Time to be homeless. Yeah. No, I'll spend it wisely. Honestly, though, Dookie, I appreciate the generosity. You've paid for the shares of SoFi that I just purchased. Which means I probably should buy another 1,000 because I need to buy my own shares. I can't just be buying the shares that Dookie gives me. I need to be buying my own shares. Oh. Are you ready? I don't know. Okay. We have other pieces of news. By the way, Steve is joining us at 8:30. I'll try to get him in a little bit earlier as well, but he has a lot of things to say about SoFi. I think he's getting extremely bullish. I heard things talking about price targets that got adjusted to a lot. Like he was talking about this company going to 50, the company going to 100. I haven't heard his comments about and now the time horizon's not like these aren't 1 year targets, but I think he's back on the bull case. So can't wait to hear what he has to say there. Yeah. Steve. Okay. By the way, guys, my entire review of SoFi's full report and everything will be tomorrow, probably around noon. I'm going to try to get the video out. I'm going very deep this time. Before, I used to make a bunch of videos on different aspects of the quarter. I'm just going to try to do it all in one video so you guys get like a quick, 15-minute summary of everything that we saw. Things that, were not highlighted enough. Tokenized share, like for lending. We talked about that with Neil, but honestly, it's insane. It's crazy. I love the fact that we have members in the chat that are not SoFi investors, but instead curious about potential entry. Sky KP7, what I would say is that if you have a long-term horizon, a believer in digitizing fintech or banking type products and think that those products can be enhanced by technology, SoFi is up there with one of the best picks that you could possibly have. Do you think that if you really look at the price of the company, the PEG ratio is still right around 1x, if not just a little bit lower than 1x based on their 2026 and 2027 earnings. that's going to be the case, it still looks very undervalued. And they continue to bump up the expectation for full year 2025. And who's to say that that's not going to be the exact same thing that happens in 2026? I don't know. Thought I just spilled coffee on myself. I was like, man, how could you be less cool? Yeah, Sky, I honestly just think it's a matter of personal preference. I think if the stock ends up closing down even more tomorrow, I'm going to be a share purchaser. I think Amit is right. Like, there's only going to be so many names that you can end up finding in your lifetime that you know full well that they have a successful future. That is SoFi for me. There's very few companies that I'm as bullish on for SoFi or as I am on SoFi. The massive move this morning was really what investors thought about the business, not the gradual decline into people reading reports from B of A saying, hey, this is the best report we've ever seen. We have nothing negative to say, $15 price target. Like, what? So, yeah, everyone wants it to dip. And then like people go, oh, if it dips, oh, I'm a big buyer. And then it dips. And then people go like, oh, classic SoFi doing what it does. This company's going back to 10, going back to 18. Like, people just continue to do that. I have enough SoFi. I need to diversify. And I think that that's fair as well. Right? SoFi is not the biggest position in my portfolio. I think if I were, I think it's third right now. Maybe fourth in my portfolio. And yeah. Oh gosh. I think I have one request that I think the chat will like. I'm not going to take my shirt off. Which is the last thing. You said something like the last two times have been like, take your shirt off and also say these comments that are stuck on the internet forever. What position is second? Shopify. Shopify is my second biggest. NVIDIA is my first. NVIDIA is so big. So I think I have 15 positions right now, 14, 15 positions. And NVIDIA is right about the size of the other 14 put together. Do you ever break down your portfolio? I do, but it's for, my course members that actually support the channel. So in a way for me to give back to those people, I show them my portfolio. By the way, Dookie, just email me if you want access, because you've paid for it, a couple times over. So yeah. But yeah, for them, I give updates on my portfolios and the different buys and stuff that I end up getting into. I still talk about all my positions. Like if people ever bring up, how do I email you? At my email, it's on my account, futureinvestingyt@gmail.com. But what was I going to say? If anyone asks me about a certain position that I own, I'm fully happy to talk about any of those positions. I don't shy away from the positions that I hold, but yeah. Okay, sending over $1 million. SoFi does not need capital, but they need more capital. No big deal in the long run. yeah, I mean, it is no big deal in the long run. But what do you think they do with this capital? Like, to me, I think the only thing that they would end up using that for is to accelerate their growth. Steve put out a Seeking Alpha article. Okay, well, that's why he freaking wanted to do something at 8:30. I'll send him the link then. That way he can join, and we can read his article together. Okay, hold on a second. 1 second. I'm so sorry. Okay. I got stumped in my tracks. I'm sorry. I got a DM. Never mind. Okay. Let me send this to Steve. Crazy the world that I'm in right now, honestly. It's insane how much social media can connect people. And like, I don't know. Me starting this YouTube channel has been by far the greatest decision I've ever made. And yeah. All right. Look at all you guys. Noto is coming on. Anthony Noto. A DM from Noto. Noto, Anthony Noto. Chill. What? Like, there's not another DM that I could have possibly gotten. Did Elon text? Well, there you go. That's. Gosh. Okay. All right, let's see if Steve is joining up, and let's check out his Seeking Alpha article and see what we can pull from that. If he did end up posting one. If not, I mean, when, bro? Yes, he did. A strong buy from Steven Fiorillo. Strong buy at $20+ ranges. Let's see if he actually covers the dilution here. But SoFi delivered a 43.7% revenue growth in Q2. I'm upgrading my investment thesis. So first off, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Steven Fiorillo on Seeking Alpha, you must. Okay? He is an unbelievable writer, has such an unbelievable way of breaking down everything, and he covers the most amount of companies. 1.3 thousand analysis on like look at the companies that he's covered. I don't know if that's big enough for you, but he covers everything. Everything. And he really does listen to the calls, reads through the reports. He understands the businesses that he's writing on. So whenever I get an opinion from Steven, this is not somebody who's taken a look at a couple companies and thinks everything's bullish or everything's bearish. He really does have a great aspect of companies or like point of view, because he's seen a lot of public market businesses, you know? SoFi Technologies delivered a triple beat with 43.7% year-over-year revenue growth, raised guidance, and provided clarity on the technology platform, reigniting my very bullish stance. All right. The AWS of fintech narrative is back as SoFi secures Banco Nacion. Did I say that right? As a Cyberbank client and anticipates 10 new tech deals by Q1 of 2026. Membership and deposit growth remains outstanding with 34% year-over-year member growth and deposits up 28.45%, providing strong customer adoption. Risks remain from regulation, competition, and execution, but SoFi's growth levers tech, lending, and crypto could drive further upside as rates fall. I think I'll leave a lot of this to you guys to go ahead and read through his article, but I'm sure it's going to be everything that we're going to talk about here together. Love me some Steve. Yeah, I agree. He's a good, the milkman always delivers. Your Spanish isn't bad at all. I don't know a single thing in Spanish. I just tried to say that one word. Okay. Mark this post. Okay. Sorry, one sec. All right, that's it. So yeah, Steve will be getting in here at any second. Then I want to get his take on the company. I apologize for my stuttering and everything. I'm done with that now. I've read through what I needed to read through, and we're back. But it just took me away for a second. Overall, I'm so freaking bullish on SoFi after this quarter, and I will be purchasing more shares tomorrow whenever things head to open. Evan, you're funny, man. Tell us in due time. I will tell you. But yes, it's definitely about something that will be involving the channel. Dookie, I'm not even, I haven't even seen your email. I'm curious on to what you sent me. I received, unless I didn't, wait. No, never mind. For a second, I thought maybe Dookie Pie was a, someone who I, like, can you imagine? Doogie Pie, if you are suggesting that you are who I think you are, and this is some burner account, because I have not received an email, but I've received a very important DM. So if you said I'm going to message you, and then that was the message I got, crazy. That's not who you are, right? Did you DM me or email me? Because I've not received an email. But I did receive a very important DM. Maybe. All right, drop it. No, I don't believe you. Buy a decent chair. Can you guys hear my chair, by the way? I agree with you. My chair is awful. But I don't know. Truly a day for SoFi bulls to celebrate. I thought so. Lol, yeah. You just hear that every time I move? All right. Maybe we get like a nice chair now. I think Dookie bought me a chair today, so we can go ahead and get us a nice chair. Evan, I truly do. So one of my honestly like the best sponsor I could have ever asked for is Herman Miller. Whenever I started this channel, I was like, you know what's I know that I've made it is I get a Herman Miller sponsorship. So Evan, if you can hook that up, that would be awesome. I would do with a Herman Miller chair. All the cool kids buy Herman Millers, yeah. I'll even do it in SoFi Blue. I will. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great and powerful Stephen Fiorillo.
Why are you acting like I'm going to be late?
I don't know, man. I got
What time is it?
8:29.
Okay. We
You're
said
early, but
8:30.
I sent the link earlier than that.
All right. Well, we said 8:30.
You're right. You're right.
Okay.
I get impatient.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to do it at 8:15, we could have done it at 8:15.
I don't know if we could have because you just posted an article.
I did
You're-
just post an article.
Well timed.
I'm celebrating with some chocolate milk because of how good this quarter was.
So you're back on the bull train.
That is so good. Oh my God. So good. So good.
All right.
Like some people celebrate with alcohol. I'm good with chocolate milk.
I drink a lot of milk, but not chocolate milk.
Okay.
But
This
I still
they
get
deserve it. So where do you want to start? You want to start with the quarter, or do you want to start with the 1.5 billion bombshell that we got after hours after I had already looked at everything?
1.5 billion, I think. I think that's what people are more interested in, but then we can go into the quarter.
Okay.
What are your initial thoughts whenever that came up? Change anything for you? You hate the company now?
No, I don't care. I mean, I think they have a very good track record of making acquisitions. You had Galileo, which was necessary. You had Technesis, which was amazing. Technesis, they offered all stock. And then you had Wyndham. So it's interesting to me that they did an offering like that. If they're now, we don't know what they're going to do, but if they're going to make an acquisition, I have all the faith in the world in the team that they're going to build something out, and it'll be quicker than them just building it from the ground up. So it's probably going to be a bolt-on acquisition, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I hope it's some form of crypto as a platform type service to go out to, that connects in with Galileo and Technesis. But we won't know until we end up seeing things. Right now, we're just sort of in the dark, and people are, I don't know, thinking the worst, I guess, even though that doesn't even make any sense. They post the best quarter possible, and then people think all of a sudden they're going to mess up.
Well, they got a good track record right now, so I'm all for it. I don't think that it's negative, and we'll see. I mean, obviously, it was going down in the middle of the day. It couldn't hold, and then after hours, it's getting hit because of the dilution. So,
Yeah.
the question is, when do we find out what they're going to do with the money?
Yeah. I agree. Sorry, I got a crazy DM earlier that I'm still I'm getting distracted, bro. I'm having a hard time streaming right now.
What is wrong with you?
What?
Why are you so distracted?
I got a DM that
Text me if you don't want to say it.
yeah, I can't
Yeah, you probably can't say, so just text me.
yeah, you can't say anything if I tell you.
Have I ever?
Yeah. No, I understand. Okay,
Well,
1 sec.
Well, while Tanner's being perplexed, I am still very bullish, and I can't see anything else that would be than some type of acquisition. I really can't.
Don't say anything.
Hold on.
Okay. Duke says I'll text Steve. Dookie, did you even email me? I didn't even receive anything. By the way, we're going to talk about the both the $1.5 billion dilution as well as the actual quarter. Steve, what are you laughing at?
Oh, Tanner. I was not really considering that. I'm not even going to say it.
Don't say anything.
No, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not going to say what you sent me, but I'm not even going to act like that is an original idea because that's not where my mind went. So we'll leave it at that.
Got you. Okay. Now, what did you think about the quarter?
Oh, it was great. I mean, look, I'm probably the most critical bull on SoFi. You can't stop smirking. Like, what is going on here?
Tell me about the quarter, bro.
Is it going to be like this all night?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You want to get it out of your system? Is it out of your system?
You know what I've realized is that I've streamed for an hour and a half already. And at some point, I'm going to need you to take over the stream so I can go to the bathroom and come back.
Oh my God! Again,
I have a baby's bladder, dude.
What is wrong with you?
I can't stream like this long,
dude. Amit has no problem going like 6 hours.
I know he's crazy. I don't even know how he cooks or eats. Like, where does he find the time?
I've
never seen him eat on stream.
I don't think he cooks. I think he just freaking like makes peanut butter and jelly or something because he's always live. But no, the quarter was great. And look, I've been very critical of SoFi, not because of their current businesses. My gripe has always been we're not getting the information that I would like to receive about the tech platform and the RFPs that they're currently participating in. And I've actually put it in writing on Seeking Alpha, and I've said on your channel before that I completely understand the NDA process and that they can't mention names and that type of thing. But what have I always said? At least tell us, hey, look, we're participating in 15 RFPs. We got a really good feeling about 10 of them. Well, guess what we heard today? They name dropped a very big bank in Argentina.
Yeah.
And when you read through the details, it's really bullish because it provides a use case of how just in the beginning, it's already provided value and how many end users they're going to upgrade this for. And then they also said that there's 10 deals in the works that will be accredited to revenue in Q1 2026. You have to think some of those are financial institutions. Now, obviously, a deal could be Wyndham Hotels, something like that, with the debit card platform that they did. But you got to think some of them are financial institutions. And we do know from probably 2 or 3 quarters ago, one of the RFPs they were working on was with a large financial institution. So this is exactly what I wanted to see. Before we get into the numbers and the growth, more clarity is what I wanted to say. And I'm so energized about them being able to give us information that puts us in a position where the AWS of fintech story is alive again. Like, I'm really excited about that because I still believe they're the only company that can pull that off.
Yeah, I know that that's what you're really focused on, and I'm excited about the 10 deals, but still, I cannot help but think that the real bull case still lies in the loan platform business and the things that are already working for them.
I mean, the numbers are phenomenal.
It's insane,
incredible.
bro.
It's incredible.
You want to see the most crazy little piece of data that we ended up seeing? Was this right here. Why is no one talking about this? Hold on.
Well, I'll go through some charts that I made after you're done.
SoFi's loan platform business has been alive for 4 quarters. Okay.
Oh, dude.
They did $1 billion in originations, then 1.1, then 1.5, then $2.4 billion in originations this quarter. On top of that, they went from a take rate of 4.2% to 4.7 to 5.2. So they had the highest take rate they've ever had on the loan platform business, while also writing more than they have in the first 2 quarters of this being a product. You know, it makes up for 35% of their personal loan originations now, 35%, and it's an instant 5.2% payout. Like, this is by far the most bullish product they have out of anything that they have. And it still doesn't get the credit that it deserves. Like, this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar product, like, per year, if not, you know, per quarter someday eventually. I mean, that'll be a bit, but still. On top of that, that's only the take rate that I have from the actual fees. That's not including servicing, for which they're doing like an additional 3 million plus per quarter as well. I don't know.
Agree with you. Look, I definitely agree. I do want to show you a few things. So
People are
this is
saying that
from-
Amit pees under his desk while he's live. Is that true?
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean,
I also just think there's not a streamer out there that drinks as much water as I do.
well, I never see him mid-drink, so maybe he
Ever.
just doesn't drink water. Maybe
Ever.
that's his secret. He just doesn't drink much, so you know he can go that long. All right, so I wrote this really quickly. Like, this could have been a lot longer, but I wanted to get it out there because nobody was putting anything out. So the first thing is, look, it does not matter what my opinion is, Tanner's opinion is, or any critics. It matters what the community thinks. And these two charts, make it a little bigger,
Oh, love it. Thank you.
are sick. I mean, the growth that they're seeing in members, the growth they're seeing in deposits is incredible. This is an S curve. And it looks like the member S curve is just going to get deeper. Like, I am really, really excited about this. And when you have more members, you potentially have more people using more products. This is going to be really good. And when you think about crypto coming back, that could be a differentiator for people who are on the fence about coming in. So that is really bullish. Now, going to what Tanner was going to, we look at lending services. I mean, look at lending services is great, but look at financial services. Look at how incredible it is. That's an S curve also. Catching up. This is going to be bigger than lending it very soon. Maybe
Very
even
soon.
2 quarters from now. Could be bigger than lending with their net revenue and contribution profit.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, look at
margin,
that.
the margin's going to overtake lending, maybe. Like, you know, like, and it's fee based, so there's no problems with it either.
Like, I'm really excited about this. Like, this is really, really interesting. And the prospects for technology to ramp next year, if these deals are what I think they could be, you could see technology do this next year in the second half. So there's a lot of things to really be excited about. And then
Oh, you think that there's going to be an S curve on technology as well?
I do. I
That
really
would be
do.
interesting.
And
That
here-
would rip us to new highs.
And here's the other thing. The Fed hasn't even started cutting yet, and we freaking jumped. I think it was something like 1.7 billion. I have all the stats on a different thing that I don't have opened up, and I can't read them from the article with this up. But we jumped a ton. I think it was like 1.7 billion in originations this quarter. It was huge.
Crazy huge.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I've got a couple charts on that as well if you need to pull it up, but we can show that after. Okay, I can show it now. So 2 main charts that we can look at. One, personal loan originations. Look how much this has taken a big step up. In orange is the loan platform business originations, and then in blue is the ones that SoFi hosts on their own balance sheet. So even without the loan platform business, it's still just going in that direction. The loan platform business is all additive. And look how much this last quarter has broken the trend for originations just on personal loans. Another one that I'd like to show you is this. This is just dotting out each quarter, but it shows you all 3 of them simultaneously. So student loans are not as originating as much as what they did in Q4, but home loans are taking a step up, 800 billion. But look at the personal loans. Like, I mean, this is insane levels of growth here. It's going vertical.
Yes.
You know,
Look, the numbers were an A-plus quarter. I don't think anybody can say anything other than that. This is crazy growth. When you look at just the contribution profit for me for financial services, think about this. Year over year, it increased 240%. Think about that. 240% increase year over year contribution profit on financial services. And then when we think about the revenue grew 105% year over year.
dude, if I completely agree with you 100%. So the thing is, what's crazy is not only is the growth, oh, well, this person in chat says they're a scam. So you know what? I'm going to sell tomorrow. That was a joke. The growth that we've seen in financial services has been insane. And then the margin has gone during that growth from 31% to 52% margin on financial services. Well, expanding like crazy. How's that possible? Like, I completely agree with you. And then think about every product that they're putting on. Like, they could potentially put, the loan platform business. Right now, it's only personal loans. What happens whenever they do that for student loans, Steve? What happens whenever they do that for home loans? You don't think pension funds and hedge funds and all these companies want to buy home loans, but they can't get access to them at the, rate at origination? They're going to go to SoFi.
How about when the Fed cuts rates in September and they
Tomorrow,
keep
you mean?
cutting rates? They're not cutting tomorrow. You know they're not cutting tomorrow. Let's be realistic. But when the Fed starts cutting rates, you're going to see originations boom. And guess what? Housing is still locked up. Wait till the housing market gets unlocked. We're going to see originations go crazy. Look, originations in total year over year increased by 64%.
I also think, international payments, crypto, all of these new product level 1 options, they're all expected to come out this year. Okay. In no way does that cannibalize or take away from existing products, and that only adds to their margin, especially for, options products, crypto, payments. Not the highest margin products for those, but all completely additive, and especially crypto and options. That's only going to expand financial services even further and make the stickiness of the user just insane. Did you also see what they posted about credit cards this quarter?
I did.
Insane. The
You've
default
always been on that bandwagon now.
Yeah.
I will not take that away from you. You have always been on that bandwagon.
I appreciate you noticing that.
Well, I mean, it's the truth, right?
Yeah. And they've expanded that like crazy this quarter, and they've lowered their default rates down to, I think, 7.7% annualized, which is still high compared to the likes of JP Morgan, but it's not high compared to the likes of, where we were before and some other small credit processors as well. What the interesting thing about Robinhood is, like, we're seeing them expand credit cards very quickly. And I know some people might think it's slow because they want access to the card. But in terms of the actual amount of cards that they're processing and adding each quarter, it is faster than SoFi. That being said, we don't know what their defaults are going to be. We don't know if their underwriting is accurate at all. We still need to figure that out. SoFi has figured it out, and now it's growth time. So that part's exciting.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, what was there not to like? I think that's the real question. What was there not to like?
So,
I mean, did we not like that they once again did a triple beat? I mean, triple beats are becoming common with them.
you want me to get super freaking particular?
Sure. Let's get super.
I'll tell you two things that pointed out to me that I think analysts will point to be bear cases.
Oh, this should be good.
And I think that they both have answers as well. So first off is the amount of loans that were end up sold this quarter was drastically lower than what we saw quarters before. 3 billion. And actually, a lot of this was actually personal loans. This is total loan sales. This quarter was only 200 million from personal loan sales. It's like one of the lowest that they've ever seen. Okay. In my opinion, what I think that this is what they're actually doing is that they're waiting for rate cuts. They're going to build up a massive loan book, wait for rate cuts, and then sell. So then they get a higher gain on sale margin. So that was the only thing that I saw there. Even if you include the loan platform business, that's what it looks like. It was a dip quarter over quarter. So that you could potentially nitpick. And then the next thing is that they are like, Robinhood is growing so much, and you can point to the market that they're growing in and say, hey, you still only have like 2% of this market. You know, you're still a small fish in a very large global marketplace. If you point to SoFi and say, hey, you know, how much more can you expand in these personal loans? They're like one of the largest personal loan players in the United States and has like 15+% of the market. So analysts are now saying, hey, you know what? SoFi actually is growing too fast. And they're not like, they're going to struggle getting to 30, 50, 60% of the overall market playing against, you know, some of the biggest players. So that is true. SoFi is trying to debunk that, though, by saying that, you know, the personal loan originations per year is not their market. It's actually the amount of outstanding credit card debt that's their market.
So I want to bring something up before I forget, Tanner. I want to go back to the stock offering.
Yeah.
So let's keep this in mind. They announced it after the market closed, after the earnings call, after the slide deck came out, and after they discussed guidance. Okay. Significant dilution. But guess what they said? Or let me rephrase that, what they didn't say. The prior guidance for EPS was 27 to 28 cents. They increased guidance to 31 cents and then diluted us. It's on the record 31 cents.
Yep.
They're still going to achieve this.
Yep.
So there's nothing to worry about.
That's the thing, right? Is
Nothing to
EPS
worry about.
EPS accounts for dilution.
Exactly.
So whenever they say 55 to 80 cents, it doesn't, like, we're not talking in net income dollars. We're talking in per share value.
Per share.
Yeah.
And diluting by 1.5 billion is a lot more shares that the net income has to get slashed by. So I gotta say, I'm really excited to see what SoFi does.
And I think this is a good point as well. They're not just going to achieve those things. They're going to beat.
They're going to be beat and raise. I mean, this is, yeah, I'm excited.
Which is funny because my original target for 2025 was 33 to 34 cents, I think, of EPS. Now, like, we just finished Q2 and we're at 31 cents. I think we're going to see another raise next quarter and another raise or another beat by Q4. I think we're actually might be either exactly on my target or even past what my original target was, which would be crazy. I got to go through Devin Ryan's report. I got it, so we'll be able to go through it, but I have not read it yet. But from what I read, or just like the first line in it said, you know, we were really, really bullish going into this, and this is better than we could have ever imagined. So, yeah.
I'm getting texted by somebody saying, quote, SoFi is a shit company for that offering.
Someone I know?
No, you don't know him, but he's actually really smart. He has a CPA. Like, it's just amazing.
I mean, we'll have to see what they end up doing with it. I think right now we're only seeing the downside and no one sees what they're going to actually do with it just yet. So, you know, we have to wait.
I have to respond to this person. I'm sorry. Give me 30 seconds.
No problem. Someone said, ooh, CPA.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say what that stands for. It's not nice.
You tell them, Steve. They're going to buy BitGo. I don't remember what BitGo's latest valuation is, but remember that even though you see a valuation at a certain price, doesn't mean that you buy it at that price. They also need a premium for, you know, acquiring an entire share, right? You have to essentially get an agreement from a majority of the business saying, hey, you are selling this business. Like we will accept that price. So yeah. That's shady that it wasn't announced on the earnings call. I mean, to some degree, I agree. It probably could have been done on the earnings call as well. Maybe they weren't even like, I don't know the capital market space that well. I don't know how fast you can put that together, but maybe they were trying to take advantage of the high run up in the stock and that they wanted to dilute the least amount of shares as possible while still getting $1.5 billion. Chances of SoFi announcing acquisition by end of week? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? All we know is that we have updated guidance. The updated guidance is higher than what it was yesterday. It's double what 2024's EPS was. So nothing to be alarmed about.
They will acquire PaySafe from what I'm reading at. From what reading at? I don't know. PaySafe, I think, is a customer of Galileo. Who knows? I know that they've been exploring the potential for acquisition versus building their own platform. And that changes the time that they get into crypto from 6 months to like 24 months to get into some more, like, I don't know how you say it, better or more sophisticated tools that they want to end up putting out. But who knows what they're end up going to be doing here. For the record, I am not worried about SoFi conducting an offering of $1.5 billion of common stock with an option to increase it by 15%. You write like ChatGPT. What is that? Hey?
Oh, Tanner. Whatchamacallit? Let's just say you're not the only one. I'll leave it
I know.
there.
I know.
I'm even wondering. I'm not going to say it. Hold on.
Yeah, I know what you're. Wait, Steve is bullish? Steve is super bullish. Now, after this earnings.
Look at your WhatsApp.
I bought more, Steve, in the after hours, and then like just recently. And I am gonna pick up some more tomorrow. I don't think that they can post this large of a beat. And plus, if they dilute by 6%, we just fell by 6%. You know? Yeah, shady company. Tanner is naive. Guy, I've been holding it since $4, $6, $7 a share. I know the business pretty well.
I mean,
So,
some
like,
would say you know the business.
What?
Some would say you know the business.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, the diluting also dilutes Noto, Chris Lapointe, everything else, right? They have a lot more shares than me.
Let's run through it. Galileo was a dilutive. Technesis was dilutive. Technesis was all stock, no cash.
Covered cap calls or whatever for the 2029 convertible notes, that was on a fully diluted basis, dilutive.
And then you have Wyndham. I mean, this is not.
I don't think Wyndham was dilutive. I think that was cash.
Was that cash?
Yeah, it was only like 60 million or something.
Okay, but regardless, what they have done is not dilutive, and this is a management team that has gotten the company to this point. They deserve a little credit and a little slack, and not to freak out. Like, they did this for a reason. Let's not forget, Noto's RSUs are 25, 35, 45.
Yeah.
So we also have to remember that. And I keep going back to updated guidance is 31 cents. It's higher than what it was. So if they're still going to hit that, what do we care if it's dilutive? Our shares still represent more EPS at the end of the year.
By the way, someone said my original entry price was $23. This is the only time I've ever purchased above $20. The first time I ever bought SoFi was at $14.50 on the way down. I was not an IPOE guy. I got into SoFi whenever it started dipping. Sorry, just correcting some people in chat. But yeah, no, I think that this impacts Noto as much, if not more, on an actual aggregate, like dollar basis than what we have.
I was slammed all day long. I did not see anything today. I read through everything early this morning and then wrote something when I got home from the office. Was Noto on TV today?
Yeah.
How did he sound?
You want to watch it?
If we can, I'd love to watch it. If not, don't worry about it.
No,
I don't know
I
if that's going to demonetize you.
No.
Okay.
I'll watch it. Here's one thing I will give CNBC 1,000 A+ on is that they never pull down their content. They love that people are sharing it. It's 7 minutes, but this also allows me to go pee really quick.
This allows you to go take care of what you need to take care of because you're not like a Mitt. What can we say? You're not like a Mitt.
I'm normal. I'll admit it. And I got to go to the bathroom sometimes. But I'll be like 30 seconds. This will be a little bit longer, but he actually has a lot of great things to say. So this is important.
All right. So roll the tape.
All right.
SoFi are surging this morning. The company delivers a beat on the top and the bottom line, raises guidance going into year end, and reports some record high loan originations and announcing plans to return to crypto investing. Joining us this morning, first on CNBC, is SoFi CEO Anthony Noto. Anthony, great to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Carl. Thanks for having me.
We mentioned the loan numbers, but also the crypto investing. I mean, they're both powerful themes. Which one is more important right now?
Well, I'd say it's the combination of everything, Carl. We just reported 44% year-over-year revenue growth to $858 million with 29% operating margins. A lot of investors look at something called the rule of 40, which is revenue growth plus your EBITDA or operating income margin. And we hit 70 today, well in excess of 40. So we're seeing the growth of a technology company and the profitability of a financial company in one quarter, but it's actually happened for the last 13 quarters. And the thing that's really driving it is our diverse platform of businesses. Our strategy is to be a one-stop shop, which means we have to have products across borrow, save, spend, invest, and protect. And because we have that broad array of products, we're able to really diversify our growth and put capital in a lot of different areas to grow. This quarter actually saw exceptional growth across all three of our businesses, and that's how we got to 44% growth, which is our highest year-over-year growth rate in the last 2 years, with really strong profitability at 29% margins.
Yeah, we can look at the chart and you can see shares near, I think, at just about a 4-year high, going back to November of 21. Over a 1 month now, Anthony, your shares are outpacing Robinhood's, and I wonder if that is the kind of showdown you expect to get talked about a little bit more.
We are a very different company. We have a very different strategy, especially when it comes to invest. Invest is one product that's important to SoFi. Our formula is that we're helping Americans achieve their financial outcomes that will help them live the American dream. And in order to do that, they have to get their money right. And the formula for that's quite simple. They have to spend less than they make and invest the rest. And when they invest, they have to take a long-term orientation. We try to educate investors to do dollar cost averaging in a diversified way. And our Invest service actually offers a broad range of products. Not only does it offer single stocks and fractional shares, we also offer IPOs, ETFs, automated investing through robo accounts, and our ETFs and robo has a couple of award-winning products. And then we also do private investments and alternative assets. You can invest in venture capital, private credit, private real estate, public long-short hedge funds, as well as private growth equity funds. That broad diversification is really focused on long-term investment and the concept of making sure you're spreading your money out to achieve long-term returns.
Well, why are you talking about crypto? Isn't that one of the reasons why the stock has shot up so much? Because of the opportunity here for you?
Yeah, I think the reason why the stock is showing the strength is that things like crypto, the recent IPOs from fintech companies, have caused investors to come back to the sector and reevaluate it, given the tremendous growth opportunities that are ahead of us. I mean, we're driving 44% year-over-year revenue growth, and we're just starting to benefit from two technology super cycles. We're at an unprecedented point in time where AI and blockchain and crypto will fundamentally change the financial services industry. So that's causing people to come back and look at our company. Some of the recent fintech IPOs have caused them to come back and look at SoFi. And they look over the last 13 quarters at our revenue growth and our margins, and they see that we've beaten the rule of 40 for 13 consecutive quarters, which is what they look for software companies to do, not a fintech company or a financial services company.
What about just general view of your consumer right now, credit quality, consumer lending, and what that means for the coming months?
Yeah, we are benefiting from unprecedented demand across all of our products. Our lending products are benefiting from people looking to lower their cost of debt. They have run their credit card balances up, and they're paying 24+% interest. They can refinance with us at 12 to 13% interest with no prepayment penalties, no refinancing costs if they want to refinance. So that product is benefiting. We're starting to see a pickup in student loan refinancing. We're also seeing really strong momentum behind SoFi Money, which we've had for 3 years. We opened the bank 4 years ago, and we've had unprecedented growth there, and that continues. The product is very differentiated. We give 3.8% interest, no fees. It's the only place you can send money via Zelle. You can send money via email, via phone number, or you could do self-serve wire transfers. In addition to that, we have our credit card offering as well as home loans. So the combination of those things, we're seeing really strong demand for the consumer, great credit performance, and the spending in our SoFi Money product is also strong.
How broad do you think the loan platform can get, Anthony? Are there other areas that you think you might want to get into?
Yes, and for those that are not familiar, we used to just produce loans for our own company balance sheet and then sell them. And a year ago, we launched the loan platform business, which really complements our technology platform business, where we use our technologies to help serve other people. And so we've built a great underwriting technology, a great marketing technology, origination technology, and servicing technology. So now for asset managers, we're producing loans for them and they pay us a fee. That business has gotten quite large. It's actually now bigger than our student loan refinancing business, which was our first one. Historically, over the last year, we've only done loan platform business in our credit box on volume we did not want to underwrite. This quarter, we added near prime for some asset managers that want near prime underwriting. So we think the market opportunity is very large, in addition to the fact that we've started to tap into this credit card refinancing need from prime customers. And so we originated $8.8 billion of unsecured personal loans, which is by far a record. We used to only do about $2 to $3 billion a quarter.
Finally, with the shares going from basically 9 to 24 in the span of a few months, is there any likelihood that you'll want to raise some capital or kind of reset capital levels?
Listen, we're always looking at our balance sheet and making sure that we have our future plans well capitalized. We feel like our capital ratios are strong. They're obviously available for investors to take a look at, but they're well above our regulatory minimums. The capital market situation is one that we're always evaluating to keep our cost of capital low, but we feel like we have adequate capital on the balance sheet, but could be opportunistic from time to time if it can lower our cost of funding and help give us continued growth capital. But right now, our plans are adequately funded with our balance sheet, but we'll continue to evaluate opportunities.
Real quick, what did you think about that question and his answer?
I don't know. What do you think, Tanner?
Well, they brought up exactly what just happened. You know, do you think you're going to... Here, wait. Let's listen to that part again, because this is what people are also upset about.
Or kind of reset capital levels?
Listen, we're always looking at...
Let me just go back a little more.
24 in the span of a few months. Is there any likelihood that you'll want to raise some capital or kind of reset capital levels?
Listen, we're always looking at our balance sheet and making sure that we have our future plans well capitalized. We feel like our capital ratios are strong. They're obviously available for investors to take a look at, but they're well above our regulatory minimums. The capital market situation is one that we're always evaluating to keep our cost of capital low, but we feel like we have adequate capital on the balance sheet, but could be opportunistic from time to time if it can lower our cost of funding and help give us continued growth capital. But right now, our plans are adequately funded with our balance sheet, but we'll continue to evaluate opportunities.
I mean, I think the thing is that he is not trying to give out information that is not public.
Yeah,
And-
he's answering very cryptically,
Yeah.
which is fine. Look, they gave us guidance. They gave us guidance everybody loved. Nothing has changed. It's a nothing burger. To the point where if this goes to 15, I'm buying more.
At 15's your buy range?
If this goes to 15, I'm buying more.
What if it goes to 19?
I'm not buying more.
I don't think I think that this quarter completely changed my opinion on if they can accelerate growth.
You know what? At 19, I could be a buyer. Thinking about it,
It didn't take much
I could be a
convincing.
buyer. I got some stuff I can exit.
That man, I didn't realize I was such a good salesman. That was incredible.
Yeah, you're a good salesman, Tanner. You're a good salesman.
All right, let's finish this out. Or no, never mind. No, it's 7 seconds.
Anthony, what a
Yeah. But that is the thing, right? Is such high accelerated growth this quarter at the highest margins. They're using this capital to go back into the business. People are acting like it's some sort of rug pull, have zero idea of how company funding, like as if Noto is putting this in his pocket. What do you think their dilution is for? You think he's here to hurt investors?
To grow the company.
Yeah, like just think for a second.
And would you think about this? Would you rather SoFi dilute shareholders at 0% interest or take a loan and pay juice? Think about it. If they're making an acquisition per se, would you rather them do what they do at Technesis, or would you rather them borrow the money from the bank? I'd rather them dilute shareholders if it's going to be accretive to shareholders. Because why load up the balance sheet with debt and pay interest?
If it's going to be accretive to shareholders, then obviously, keep doing what you're doing. It's just not a guarantee,
Right.
And SoFi has been known to dilute. And so this quarter was so interesting because a fully outstanding diluted share count actually went down quarter over quarter, which got me super excited. So I think that is also a thing that people are getting nitpicky about. Now, people who are saying like, terrible CEO, blah, blah, blah. I just completely disagree with that. People who say that they're frustrated about these types of things, I understand. Like, you want a company that's compounding on their growth and everything. But that's what they're wanting this capital for. They're trying to run the most efficient business. And like he said, he wants to grow at 25% compounded annual growth rates for decades. That's what he said, or for a decade, right? 25%. That's insane. The aspirations that Noto has while running this business is crazy.
Agreed. But I also don't think that we are in a position where we need to be looking down on the capital raise, because when you look at where we are, this is a company that is expected to grow the adjusted EBITDA by 28% this year. I'm sorry, have a margin of 28%. The growth just increased about $65 to $70 million from where we were last year. Like, that's real freaking growth.
So you're back to being bullish. I like that. It's a Steve I like.
Look, adjusted EBITDA year over year in Q2 grew 80.5%. It grew by $111 million.
Real quick, what did you think about PayPal? Did you get to read them or?
No, I have no idea what happened with PayPal.
Okay.
What happened?
I didn't follow it either.
Okay.
The market sold it off, and it's just exactly what PayPal's been going through. I mean, they just can't.
I had bandwidth for following one thing when I got home, and that was freaking SoFi, and that was it.
Yeah, I think that was the right choice. That was what the market picked as well. Yeah. It's incredible how much of a compounder SoFi is, and it's been this way for years. And now we're adding more members, more revenue at higher margins, and people think that something has changed because they offered shares out to the public again. Nothing has changed.
Everything has changed. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, in terms of them being a compounder and expecting, 2026 EPS, like these
They're growing
expectations,
quicker than everybody thought. Everything has changed.
not faster than I thought.
You did not think they were going to grow revenue by 44%. Stop it.
No, you're right, but I thought 40%.
Okay, but that's not 44%.
You're right.
And you also knew you were on the high end of the spectrum at 40%.
Yes.
Like they shattered the high end of the spectrum for you, who's one of the biggest SoFi bulls. Everything changed this morning. You had incredible revenue growth, incredible EBITDA growth, triple beat. You had a beat on revenue, beat on EPS, and a beat on a raise on guidance. There's nothing not to like here. And I'm shocked that I'm the one saying this, and Chris did not like the capital raise. I figured, if anything, Chris would have liked it, and I would have been the one that said, like, this probably isn't good.
Yeah. Can you keep it down, by the way?
Keep it down.
Oh, sorry. Dookie Pie said she'd pay me $500 if I shut you up.
I can.
Bro, you think she wouldn't? She has. She really.
She just gave you $400.
No, this was earlier today, bro. She gave me $1,300 today.
What?
Look. She donated 10 gifted. That's $5 per person over 10 people. Then another 10. Then another 10. Then 10. Then 50. Then another 50. Then 10. Then another 10. 10, 10, 300, 100. She's a crazy person.
Who is this person?
From what I know about her, she's a lady in Norway.
Did you just get a benefactor?
I don't know. She's clearly well off. However, she said that she's down to her last 20 and that she's going homeless after donating to me. But now she's offering me another 500. So she's going into debt.
Somehow I don't believe it. I think she's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think she also said she bought like 200,000 shares of SoFi or something the other day. So
only 200,000.
Yeah, it's VVV's wife, I think. That might be accurate.
I have no idea who that is.
That's the guy that donates to Amit like crazy. But
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's all right. That's all right. I know more about that person, but I'm not going to say their name and everything.
Are you talking about DW?
No, VVV. Anyway, I'm past it.
Yeah.
What did you think about the guidance changes for SoFi? And by the way, in the thing that you just posted, you talked about prior. Also, are you posting while you're live with me right now?
Yeah, I'm posting while you're talking. I'm trying to change the narrative on this freaking dilution.
And what's the thought process?
I don't know. I think everybody's wrong. And when I think everybody's wrong, I say something. Same way I thought everybody was wrong with, the tech platform being a big headwind. And I am now incorrect. So if I prove me wrong and I change my thesis and upgrade it.
And I think that's fair. I think that adds a lot of credibility that you're willing to change your mind if you think that things are not going in the way that you expected them previously.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot changed. A lot changed. This was an incredible quarter. I mean, incredible. I'm so bullish right now.
I tried to tell you about this before it happened. I said they're going to.
This was going to happen.
Well, I did expect very good things. They just happened to be better than I expected. But even the guidance, by the way, how much they raise guidance is that's just quarter over quarter. Their prior full year 2025 guidance is even lower than that. They had 25 to 27 cents was their original 2025 guidance back in Q4 of 2024. 25 to 27 cents. Then they raised it to 27 to 28. Now they just raised it to 31. You think they're going to raise it to 34 next time, then actually come in at, 37 or like these are real possibilities if they continue to execute at this level.
Execution is flawless right now.
Buy the dip in SoFi Tech for the community fund. Absolutely, Payush.
Oh boy, look at that.
I will follow your lead. And buy one for the community fund. Dookie Pie gave me $1 and said she's got $19. Thank you, Dookie. Appreciate it. Can you please explain why they would dilute 1.5 billion if they've posted a mind-blowing quarter? Well, that's exactly it, right? It's like we're trying to figure out the dilution is not. There's two reasons to dilute. Okay, one is you're potentially trying to seize an opportunity, and then the second is survival. And only one of those are a problem. If you're diluting to keep your company alive because you don't have enough cash and you're not profitable and you're not generating your own cash, you need to dilute to, raise more money so your company doesn't go BK. All right. But if you're doing amazingly and then you go out to do a capital raise, what does that mean? That means you want to keep up this level of growth. You want to accelerate growth. You want to, seize an acquisition. You want to lower costs of existing debts. Who knows? But that's what we're here to try to, I guess, figure out a little bit. But I just need to calm people's nerves. That's why I went live today, was just because people were freaking out. And there's nothing wrong here. There's nothing at least to freak out about. The stock has fallen as much as they're diluting from. That makes sense. It's down 6%. They're going to dilute by 6%. The market's actually pretty okay with this move.
Agreed.
The only thing I'm surprised by is how much the stock ended up falling throughout the day. Like we were up.
The market was down today.
$25, and then we ended up dropping to $22.28 before the market closed. That was without anyone knowing about this dilution deal. But you're right. The market was down. It was not a great day to
Nvidia
show
was
off.
up quite a bit, and then it reversed. Not a big deal.
Yeah. All right, brother. You want to wrap?
Yeah, sure.
Or you want to give me your expectations on Meta and Microsoft for tomorrow?
Oh, dude, Meta's going to crush it.
Meta's going to crush.
Meta's going to crush it. Meta's going to come out and crush it tomorrow.
Wait, what's tomorrow? Is it Amazon or Microsoft? It's Microsoft, right?
I don't even know what the schedule is right now.
I'll check. The calendar says tomorrow is Microsoft, Meta, Hood, Qualcomm, ARM, Grab, TMDX, Carvana, FICO, eBay. Fun.
This week's the Super Bowl, man.
It is.
This week's the Super Bowl.
It's busy. Amazon Thursday. Yeah, we'll be listening to that one live. That or Coinbase. I think Amazon will be more fun, and then we can.
Dude, don't even say Coinbase and Amazon in the same sentence. Come on.
Well, I think for my channel, a lot of people are very interested in
Amazon's
crypto.
way more important right now. For the overall market, Amazon's way more important.
Agreed.
Because we got to see where they are with CapEx and everything.
Agreed. All right. Dude, thank you so much for joining me and making this a fun show. But ladies and gentlemen, really do appreciate you coming out.
You should go read my article, Tanner.
Everyone should go read Steve's article, and let me post that in the chat here. Seeking Alpha at Steven Fiorillo. The only person writing on SoFi today. It's crazy. This is the actual article for people that want to go read it.
Yeah, if you could read it, leave a comment, I will respond.
He really does. He's willing to get in a lot of
I
arguments.
will respond to everybody.
Thank you all so much for watching. Dookie Pie, I appreciate you especially.
Yeah, I mean, Dookie Pie, if you want to seed an account, I'll turn it into something and then give you back the original investment plus the interest.
Don't you need some form of a license for that?
I mean, if they want to send me a check and then if I want to, send them back their money, it's technically a loan, right?
All right, I'll let you guys discuss that through your own emails. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. And bye for now.